Welcome to Unit 7, Lesson 4, Parameters and Return Make. The objective for this lesson is that you will be able to debug programs that use functions with parameters and return, and write functions with parameters and return values that meet a set of specified requirements. So let's go ahead and get started. What I want you to think about is, how do parameters and return change the way you write your programs? Okay, you don't have to turn a response like this in, but it will be very helpful, so I would think about that. Pause the video here so you have some time to think about that. So in this lesson, we're going to be working on another make project, but this one is a little bit different than others that we've done in the course so far. A lot of the code will already be written for us, and we will be working on blank functions rather than entirely blank programs. Thanks to the way that parameters and return work, it's easy to design programs this way. So, let's look at our activity. Okay, navigate to Lesson 4, Level 1 on Code Studio. All right, it says, try the app. Play with the rock, paper, scissors app. Pay attention to, what does each button do? All right, that's not a button. Pause the video here so you can play with it on your own. Rock chooses the rock for the person. Paper chooses paper for the person. Scissors chooses scissors for the person. How does the screen get updated after clicking each button? Well, there's something in here that is randomly choosing an index from 0 to 2, and it is placing that icon in that box. And if one of these icons is matching this icon, then it will not give a point to anybody. If one icon is better than the other icon, it will give a point to whoever has the better icon. Okay, so let's go ahead and you will have an activity guide for this, so download that from Schoology before you get started, and move on to level 4. Level 2, okay? All right. It gives you the functions that you're going to be writing. It tells you what they are. All right, don't forget to check the rubric before you submit your project to make sure that you have what you need to have, okay? And then, how could using parameters and return help you write programs collaboratively? That's the end of that. So let's look at this real quick, okay? All right. So build the rock, paper, scissors app using your activity guide to help you plan. When you're done, submit your work. All right. So notes for building this function. Well, let's look at what is already happening, okay? We have the icons list and we have the choices list. We have the scores. When the rock button is clicked, it updates the screen for the rock. That's the button player, the button for the player to play rock. This is the button for the player to play paper. All right, and then down here you have the button for the player to play scissors. Okay, that's how it updates the screen. When the user clicks any of the 3 buttons, it runs a round of rock, paper, scissors. This function determines who won the game and updates the screen and scores for each player. All right, so function, update screen, player choice. Okay, Player choice is our parameter. All right, now we have variables in here, local variables of computer choice, which random choose choices, parameter choices. Decide winner, parameters are player choice and computer choice. All right, set property. Okay, if the winner, all right, now we have an issue here. Function icon name is defined but is not called. Function computer, well, decide winner. Let's see. Computer choice is defined but not called in the program. Okay. And player choice is defined, but it's not called in the program. This tells us what we need to do. Okay, so let's start with the find icons function. Okay. Start with this one. So icon name string, either rock, paper, or scissors, and then return string, the icon associated with the string provided. So we need an if statement here. All right, if icon name is what? Oh, don't know what happened. Okay, anyways, if icon name is, let's start with rock, like rock, paper, scissors, okay? What's gonna happen? Icon equals these are the index values, okay? So it would be icons 0. Don't forget your semicolons. All right. Else, if icon name is what? Okay, I'm gonna let you fill in that blank. Icon equals, I'm gonna let you fill in this blank too. Else, if icon name equals what? I'll let you fill in this. Okay, then icon would be this. So fill in those blanks with the correct index positions for each one. All right, and then we're gonna actually move this down here because this statement, this conditional statement needs to happen first. But we need to, I forgot, create a variable called icon because we have that right there. Okay, all right. So this is going to continue to have a red block right here because this is incomplete. Okay, so fill in the strings, fill in the strings, fill in this, and fill in this. Okay, create this icon, and you should be good here. Now, let's look at this one, okay? This randomly selects an item from the list provided and returns it. List. All right, a list of items, return item, a randomly chosen item from the list. So if we return list 0, we want it to be a randomly chosen item from the list. And if we say return list 0, it's always going to be whatever is in that 0 position, right? So we want to start with 0, and then we want to think back to like lesson 3. Anytime we use the random, let me show you what I'm talking about, okay? I think it might be over here. Yeah. Anytime we use the random number, okay, this right here is the same every single time. Okay, so we're going to return list. All right, and I'm gonna delete all of that, of random number, start with 0. It's not complements though. What is it? It's gonna be list dot length minus 1. Why is it list? Do we have anything up here called list? Well, that's what our parameter is. Okay, so we're going to return that. Now let's look at this. Okay, decides who wins a round of rock, paper, scissors by taking the 2 player choice string, either rock, paper, or scissors, the human player's choice, computer choice, same, and then returns either the draw player or computer depending on who wins, right? Okay, so we need a variable for the winner to start off, all right? Now, you are going to be comparing the choice of the player to the choice of the computer. All right? If they are the same, remember whenever you're making a conditional statement, you have to start with the most specific case first. Well, if they are the same, then the winner is nobody, right? It's a draw. Okay, but else if the player choice is one thing, like rock, and the computer choice is something less than rock, what happens then? All right, who's the winner? Okay, so you're going to continue with this pattern of comparing rock, paper, and scissors. All right, and at the very end, it will return whatever, you don't want player returned. What do you want returned? Winner. Whatever is stored in winner. Okay, whether that is the player or the computer. So how many of these else if statements are you going to need in order to make this work? All right, so good luck, and don't forget to check the rubric before you submit, okay? Because if you have a function that does not return the correct values for all inputs, then it does not work, right? So double check that, and good luck.